Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be setting up this showy RF 1200 that I have with a Sena 20S EVO. And you can find these Bluetooth communicators basically anywhere you can buy motorcycle accessories, cycle gear, Revzilla, Amazon. First we're going to start with the unbox. As you can tell, I already kind of opened it up a little bit, but you get this little foam thing. It's the antenna, a jogger dial, and a button. And this is the main part of the unit. Then you got your boom mic and your speakers that go in your helmet. And then under that, you're gonna have your charging cables, auxiliary cable. You can update your firmware with this after you plug it into your computer, directions and a manual. And then all the sticky accessories, little foam pads for your microphone and speakers, anything you could need to mount it in your helmet. Before we start the install, I'm gonna just kind of run through some of the features that it has. It has Bluetooth 4.1, which is a little bit more efficient than the older 3.0, give you a little bit longer battery life. They claim 1.2 miles or 2 kilometers for range, but in my experience when using these, you get a little bit less than that. This supports up to 8-way intercom, and they say it's universal, but we all know that it works best Sena to Sena. You can listen to music or use voice commands. It has noise control, a smartphone app. It's water resistance, but not waterproof. There's a clear distinction there that they make. So they will not replace it if it's thrown in a pool or you go through a torrential downpour for 3 hours and screw it up. It's got built-in FM radio and the option to use a remote control, which I don't know many people who use that. Here we got my Shoei RF 1200, just the street helmet. Pretty basic stuff. I mean, anything with an EPS liner and foam, most helmets the Sena is going to fit in, so for the purposes of this video, I'm using my RF 1200. Next step is going to be to remove the visor and take all the padding out of the helmet. So we'll do that now. And that's going to expose where the earbuds are going to go, or the speakers rather. Just stick that out of there. And then you can see has these flaps on my Shoei RF 1200. That's where the speakers are going to go. So as you can see, I pulled the felt part out, and there's actually a little pocket for the speaker on the RF 1200. Now, I don't know if it's going to be big enough for the actual speaker Sena provided to fit in there. So we'll see what we can make happen. Now I got the boom mic and speakers out of the box. And I grabbed these little foam pads that go over the speaker. And we're gonna just cover those up like so. They just slide on. They have a little notch for the wire as well. You're going to want to be careful with these foam things. They tear really easily. They're pretty cheap. And another thing to make note of is this material is Velcro for this felt with the 3M on the back that sticks in your helmet. So you're going to want to leave enough room for them to actually grab onto the felt and not totally cover it with the foam part. Now we're going to install the 3M backing with the felt, Velcro, whatever you want to call it, in the helmet. You're going to want to make sure it sits nice in there and symmetrical with the actual circle of the speaker hole. Now, obviously, if your helmet doesn't have little cutouts for the speakers, it won't make that much of a difference, but try and make them symmetrical. And then Sena also provides you with these little spacers. You can put those in, and those do fit, but you kind of have to smush them. However, if your helmet comes with this little guy, which is foam padding and a little snap ring for the inside, you're not going to want to use the spacers. So I won't be using the spacer. Take that out. Now what you're going to want to do is loosen these two screws for the mount on the side of the helmet, and pick a spot on the helmet that you think will be easily accessible. I'm just choosing right here because it looks like there's a little bit of space in between the liner and the shell, and it's going to require a little bit of muscle, but it should go on fairly easily. And there's a rubber part that goes against the shell. As long as that rubber part's making contact, you can go ahead and go back in and tighten those screws. There and there. It's just a little Allen key, and Sena provides it with the package that they send you. So now I'm going to push the mount with the boom mic on just past the little visor point where the kink in the helmet is, and there's a little rubber piece. As long as it's making contact, you are good to go when it comes to tightening these two Allen bolts down. Sena provides a little Allen key, wrench, whatever you want to call it, with the actual kit that they send you, and it's just a matter tightening those down and you should be good to go. All right, now time to mount the speakers. Obviously you have a short speaker and a long speaker, or wire I should say, and the long one goes behind the padding, facing backwards, and into the little Velcro thing. And the short one will mount on the left side of the helmet, right next to the boom mic. Then next, all you're going to want to do is put the boom mic up here in front of your mouth, preferably slightly up towards the middle of your chin, halfway to your lips. That way, if you have a skirt that goes on a chin skirt, it can block some of the wind noise when you're talking. Then last but not least, you put the actual unit on the Sena, put your pads back in. If you have a plastic thing that goes in between the liner and the shell, you might have to snip it a little bit. As you can tell, I didn't snip mine far enough, and it kind of sticks out a little bit right here, but I'll adjust that and turn it on and you should be good to go.